Hello, and welcome to day 2 of CF Summit Europe. I'm Dieu Cao, CF Open Source Product Lead at VMware and Cloud Foundry PMC Council Chair. I'd like to share a bit about our progress in growing a community of users and contributors as we bring the Cloud Foundry developer experience to Kubernetes. There's been an amazing amount of progress and growth in the community since the last summit. The new Paketo Build Packs project is really taking off. I'm truly impressed in how the team has really invested during the last couple of months to improve project visibility at all levels. They've invested in making the project more approachable for new users, as well as potential new contributors. They've worked on writing RFCs as much as possible to make sure their decision-making process is out in the open and ready for comments from the community. Also, it's worth highlighting the growth and collaboration I see on the kubecf and CF for Kate's projects, which has been truly amazing. And I'm starting to see how these two projects, who started, they started with different approaches, and they're really coming together, learning from each other and collaborating closely together. An example of that is how they've collaborated on the use of Quark secrets, how the kubecf project had recently adopted the native UAA image. It's just really great to see. The CF for Kate's project itself, I want to celebrate. It just reached its 1.0 release, and it's just seen tremendous collaboration between community members to get there. I'm just loving seeing folks in the community contribute guides for how to deploy it on different Kate's clusters. There's some great contributions from the SAP team, who've been really putting it through its paces in terms of scale testing. In fact, I believe the reason why there was a RC candidate for the CF for Kate's project was so that the SAP team could do one last pass at it before 1.0 is officially declared. I want to call out, there's also just been some amazing progress collaborating with other nearby communities, taking advantage of other nearby projects. The Istio integration with CF for Kate's, it just has so many possibilities, but one of my favorites that made it into the 1.0 release of CF for Kate's has got to be that all the communication paths are encrypted. I know quite a few community members who've been looking for that to be true of Cloud Foundry, and now it is. With the KPAC integration, another integration I'm really proud of, we're able to build OCI images from your app code and store them in a registry while still maintaining a simple user experience. I'm really looking forward to what's next for the community. There's a lot of other projects coming up or that are out there to explore. There's some great talks to check out this afternoon. Prometheus and Keynote are giving their roadmap talks. And these are two other communities that I think would be great for the Cloud Foundry community to collaborate with to help build better developer experiences. Now, with Paketo, CF for Kate's, and kubecf, it's never been easier to get started with build packs and with Cloud Foundry. As a community, we can take that as an opportunity to introduce the power and simplicity of CF Push to more people and more teams than ever before. Paul Warren on the release integration team shared with me today that the latest getting started tutorial for CF for Kate's can be done with just one node with 4 CPU and 6 gigabytes of memory. I know I'll be able to try that out on my laptop very easily. And you can get to CF Push in just 10 minutes. I'm so excited about how much easier it is to try these things out, not to mention how much this simplifies the contributor experience. For those of you who have been part of the Cloud Foundry community for a while, I want to ask, as the projects progress and change, I'd love for you to help us to focus on these 3 areas to help us continue to grow our community of users and contributors. So the areas being share knowledge, collaborate openly, engage with users and contributors. So repeat it with me. It'll be a little awkward, but it'll be fine. Just share knowledge, collaborate openly, engage with users and contributors. So I got you to say that, hopefully, maybe. But what do I mean by that? So share knowledge. That means make knowledge easily shareable. As community members, read the READMEs, or as team members, read the READMEs. Do they make sense? Are they up to date? Your docs, the getting started guides for users and contributors, do they make sense? Are they up to date? Other things around just wayfinding. If you've got a lot of related repos, make them easy to discover and make it easy to find your way back to the main repo. If you've got project wikis, make them public. If you've got ADRs or RFCs or feature proposals, whatever you might call those things, make them discoverable, maybe even from your README. Those are a lot of things contributors can do, but community members help keep us honest on that, and encourage us to share knowledge there. Collaborate openly. So what do I mean by that? Well, we have the code. It's public. It's all in the Cloud Foundry GitHub orgs. But this is really about more than that. It can be about publishing a maintainers file and keeping that up to date so people know who they can reach out to. It's looking at processes and tools that you're using, looking at whether they're transparent and inclusive to other community members, and adopting new tools and processes if they're not. And yes, if you're wondering, I am advocating in a way for the Cloud Foundry project teams to move away from using Pivotal Tracker. I love Pivotal Tracker, but I think it's time for us as a community to move to using GitHub issues and GitHub projects or ZenHub, and adopting different flows. Some teams have already, and while it took some time for them to find their rhythm, the positive impact of these changes on collaborators is huge, and in my opinion, well worth the effort. Lastly, when I say engage with users and contributors, please think about how you can make the experience more welcoming and inclusive. Some of this is staying on top of issues and PRs and not letting them go ignored. Some of this is thinking about whether the experience of submitting an issue or PR, is it pleasant or is it onerous and confusing? How can we make that better as a community? Or try taking some of these issues and labeling them as good first issues, as targets for people who are attempting their first PR, or labeling issues with help wanted, so that people who'd like to help have an idea of where to get started. Some of this could just be as simple as scrolling back up in Slack to see if there were any questions asked in Slack, your team Slack, overnight or the day before that went unacknowledged, and help point those people on their way. Now, these are some ideas and suggestions. It's really up to the project teams to consider adopting these, but I really hope that you keep these in mind. I think these will help us to continue to grow the Cloud Foundry community as we go and have this new opportunity with this simple developer experience. So say it with me again. Share knowledge, collaborate openly, and engage with users and contributors. I really want to thank Jonas Rosland for his Getting Started with Community Engagement Guide for the inspiration for this slide. And now on to the Cloud Foundry Community Awards. So our first award is Awesome Advocate, and it goes to Darmaine Jewett from VMware. Darmaine brings so much amazing energy to the community. She is always speaking so enthusiastically about Cloud Foundry. She loves participating in events, and most recently at the last CF Summit, she gave a great talk about whether your developer experience is COVID immune. It's on the Cloud Foundry YouTube channel if you haven't seen it, and it's worth checking out. I think we can all agree that Darmaine is a strong and kinetic advocate to the Cloud Foundry community. Congratulations, Darmaine. The winner of the first of the Committed Contributor Awards is Ettore Di Giacinto from SUSE. Ettore cares deeply about the end users of our platform. His contributions to the community in the past few months have been both broad and substantial, from kubecf, Quarks, and IreneX as well, to mentoring a community bridge mentee. He's given some high quality contributions. Congratulations, Ettore. The winner of the second of the Committed Contributor Awards is Julian Skupniak from IBM, also known as Hair Jules. This is his second year in a row of winning this award. Jules has been driving the Irene team and technology as their anchor and lately PM in an awesome way, and has been paving the way for this important backbone technology with the CF community. Congratulations, Hair Jules. The winner of the third of the Committed Contributor Awards is Felicia Martini from VMware. Felicia has been the leader guiding the development of the V3 Services API, among many other activities. The Services API might not be where it is today without Felicia's dedication and passion. She's an inspiration every day to continue improving the user experience in the API and in the CLI. Congratulations, Felicia. The winner of our Inspirational User Award is UK Government Digital Service. They were nominated for inspiring our Cloud Foundry community and consistently doing incredible work, contributing directly to the Cloud Foundry projects as well. In March, they shared an inspiring story of how they used Cloud Foundry during the pandemic, launching a service to help vulnerable people to get help during the COVID crisis. Congratulations to the UK Government Digital Service. And finally, we have the Foundation Award. The Foundation Award winner is Paul Warren from VMware. Paul is a longtime contributor to the Cloud Foundry project, most recently through major contributions as part of the release integration team. In particular, his willingness to step into the project lead role for release integration, managing both ongoing CF deployment updates and bringing CF for Kates across the line for its 1.0 release. Hopefully that happened. We'll see. I think it's just at release candidate right now when I'm recording this. Those contributions are the most visible ones, but behind the scenes, Paul has also recently taken on leadership of the community's vulnerability management team as well. Paul is an example of the power of humble leadership, and the Cloud Foundry Foundation team wanted to take this opportunity to thank him. So thank you and congrats to Paul. And now I'd like to take a minute to say thank you to our sponsors. We cannot run CF Summit without sponsorship. Our platinum sponsors are IBM Cloud, SAP, SUSE, and VMware Tanzu. Our gold sponsors are Any9s and Datadog. I ask all of you to find some time to chat with our sponsors in the exhibitor area. Find out what they've got going on. There's some cool stuff. And in closing, if you haven't tried CF for K8s or CubeCF, go to cloudfoundry.org to get started. There's a cool site redesign there as well. I really think you're going to like it. Share what you think of it. Tell a friend. Thank you, and have a great day 2 of CF Summit.